Genesis of the Remnant Lds Church, Proclamation, Background Study Part 1. As Melchisedec priesthood, we are called upon to make decisions under the law to the best of our ability and the light God gives us. In D and C 9-3, we are admonished by the Lord to pray and study. I say unto you that you must study it out in your own mind, then you must ask me if it be right. It was for this purpose that a prayer and study group started meeting more than 5 years ago. It was, and is, their intent that the church affairs be conducted according to the will of God as expressed in His law. The work of the ministry and the affairs of the church being the focus of their prayer and study. In answer to that discipline, enlightenment was received from the Scriptures, church history and the working of the Holy Spirit. In response, the proclamation was formulated and passed on to the high priests, at which time the prayer and study group withdrew from any further action. To assist those who desire to do further study, the following references to portions of church history and the Doctrine and Covenants have been provided. The brief extracts quoted from those references are not intended to be complete and exhaustive. They are only intended to be a quick reference and an encouragement to study the entire scope of the material referenced. Scriptures, D and C 9-3 AD. Study, seek, pray, behold, you have not understood, you have supposed that I would give it unto you, when you took no thought, save it was to ask me, but, behold, I say unto you, that you must study it out in your mind, then you must ask me if it be right, and if it is right, I will cause that your bosom shall burn within you, therefore, you shall feel that it is right, but if it be not right, you shall have no such feelings, but you shall have a stupor of thought, that shall cause you to forget the thing which is wrong. D and C 58-6 cf. Not commanded in all things, for, behold, it is not meet that I should command in all things, for he that is compelled in all things, the same is a slothful and not a wise servant, wherefore he receiveth no reward. Verily I say, men should be anxiously engaged in a good cause, and do many things of their own free will, and bring to pass much righteousness, for the power is in them, wherein they are agents unto themselves. And inasmuch as men do good, they shall in no wise lose their reward. But he that doth not anything until he is commanded, and receiveth a commandment with doubtful heart, and keepeth it with slothfulness, the same is damned. D and C 99-1 A General Council of High Priests. This day a General Council of 24 High Priests assembled at the house of Joseph Smith Jr., by revelation, and proceeded to organize the High Council of the Church of Christ, which was to consist of 12 High Priests, and 1 or 3 Presidents, as the case might require. D and C 99-3 Council supported by vote of priesthood and members, the number composing the council, who voted in the name and for the church in appointing the above-named councilors, were 43, as follows: 9 high priests, 17 elders, 4 priests, and 13 members.